Okay, what's the simplified version of each? This first one, it's actually a little bit challenging if you don't know fractions well, but I'm going to tell you the trick. If you're multiplying a whole number, and this coefficient 30, think of it as a whole number, is being multiplied by a fraction, you can do that number times the numerator and divided by the denominator, and in either order. So if we did 30 times 2, we'd get 60, and have to do 60 divided by 3. That's kind of big. 60 divided by 3 is 20. Maybe you can see that. But if we're going to get 20m there after doing that, let's just do this. Let's first divide by 3. 30 divided by 3, 30 divided by 3 is 10. 10 times 2, 20. Don't forget the m. 20m. Okay? And just to be clear, if you have this 30m, you're saying, okay, we're going to fractions say divide it into 3 groups. 30m divided by 3 is 10m, and then use 2 of them. That's what the number on the top is saying. You're having 2 of them things that are, the things are thirds. They're groups, 3 of those equal groups will make that amount. Okay? So you divide that by 3, you get 10m, and you say take 2 of those groups of 10m, and that's 20m, and that's right there. Okay? We're doing the distributive property here, of course. That times that, and that times that. So let me do this. Let me first write this here and say that's really, that's really the same as equal to distributing it through 2/3 times 30m, that's an m, plus 2/3 times 18. Okay? Now, you can see how we could cancel that both by 3, that becomes 1, that becomes 10, and that's like we're doing the division. So 10m, which is what remains now, 10m times 2 is going to be 20m. And now we'll do this here. We'll say we could do 18 divided by 3, and we would get 6 there, and a 1, and then 2 times 6 is 12. So we would say plus 12. Another way to look at it would be to say, instead of doing that canceling right there, you could say 18 times 2 is 36. 36 divided by 3 is 12. Either way, you get to that 12. So we've got 20m plus 12. 20m plus 12. There it is. B. We're going to choose it and be done with this one. Okay? Next one. Well, next one, pretty straightforward. You're multiplying this by -1. Even though it's at the end, it's still going to distribute through and multiply everything by -1. When you multiply by -1, what you're doing is changing the sign of everything to its opposite. So what's the opposite of 4? The opposite of 4 is -4. And what's the opposite of -c? The opposite of that is +c. So that, -4 plus c, and that is b right there. Great. Here, we've got this -5 distributing through. We could actually write this as a distributive property problem. We could say -5 parentheses 2 and -5 parentheses -10c. Okay, now let's see what we get when we do that. What's -5 times 2? -10. What is -5 times -10c? Well, -5 times -10, negative is positive. 5 times 10 is 50, so 50c. Obviously positive or plus 50c. So -10 plus 50c, that's d over here. Okay. What's the simplified version of each expression? Well, these two are the same. You're multiplying by a negative. It's an invisible -1 there. We're really multiplying everything by -1. And we know that when we multiply by -1, we change the sign of everything and otherwise keep it the same. So this times that is basically saying do the negative of -7m, or the opposite of it. Because this right here, all that's going to do, since you don't see a number there, all that's going to do is it's going to change the sign of everything. So from -7m to +7m. From -8x to +8x. And then that's what you get. You get 7m plus 8x. Where do we see that? Right there. Oops. Okay, and then the same thing here. We're multiplying by just that negative. That's saying the negative of this, or the opposite of all of this. What's the opposite of -7k? It's +7k. What's the opposite of +90? Well, -90. And then where do we see that? 7k minus 9d. It's right there. Those are all the answers to these problems, and you're done.